me a real deal. Pass me a real deal. Pass me a real deal. Pass me a real deal. Ow. Hey guys, okay, so tonight on Last Meal Real Deal, I will be talking to my coworker slash friend, Leora, about Christina Marie Riggs. She was the first woman in 150 years to be executed in the state of Arkansas when she was executed for her crime. And we're going to be making her last meal, which was supreme pizza, fried okra, salad, strawberry shortcake, and cherry limeade. So what we're gonna do today is I am going to make some homemade pizza, fry up some okra. I'm gonna make a bacon Caesar salad because why not? And I've got some shortcake dessert shells, and I'm gonna make a strawberry sauce and make a little strawberry cake dessert and show you how to make homemade whipped cream. So let's get started. Cream pizza. We're gonna make a little homemade pizza. I got some dough from the supermarket across the street. They make it fresh. I also got store-bought pizza sauce because I did not have a lot of time to make homemade this week. That's fine. We've also got all of our toppings and everything and all that good stuff. Next, we're going to be frying up some okra, some fried okra. We're going to be cutting our okra into about 1/2-inch slices. And we're going to soak them in buttermilk and then toss them in seasoned cornmeal and fry them up in whatever oil that you desire. And next, we're going to be making our little bacon Caesar salad. We're going to be cooking the bacon in the oven because, like I've said before, it is just easier to make a large amount of bacon in the oven and it always comes out perfect. I'm going to use romaine lettuce. We're going to wash that, chop that up. And I've got croutons and Caesar dressing. And we're going to finish that off with some fancy shredded Parmesan cheese. Yep. And next, last but not least, we're gonna do a twist on strawberry shortcake. So I've got some shortcake dessert shells and I'm gonna chop up some strawberries and zest a little lemon in them and mix a little sugar and vanilla, and then we're gonna top our strawberry shortcake shells with that strawberry mixture. And then I'm gonna whip up some heavy whipping cream with some sugar and vanilla extract and make a bomb whipped cream to top them with. And that is gonna be that. We're gonna finish that with some cherry limeade. Okra. And then cut it in bite-sized pieces, just like that. Cut as much or as little as you want to, depending on how many people you are feeding. For these strawberries, some of them we're actually going to leave whole, just, you know, texture, but most of them I'm going to slice up just like that. So slice up like this, just good little medley. Zested a lemon right into the strawberries. I'm gonna cut the lemon in half. Lemon juice. And then, no, I don't really be measuring like that, but this is probably 2 tablespoons of sugar. We're just gonna toss these strawberries in and let them macerate. And then putting sugar in there enables them to like release their juices and kind of makes a syrup that we're gonna soak our shortcake in. See, it's already starting to do so, you see? Just like that. I'm gonna let this sit. We're gonna put this aside. Lots of parchment paper. Put that in the oven. So we can throw in our baked cheese salad. So we've got our pan of cornmeal. I just put some flour on my hands, and we're just gonna pull this aside. Throw that down. Spread it out. Powder, just a little bit. We'll crush red pepper into the sauce, just a little bit. That's what I do, that's what I like. I'm gonna go in with some mozzarella cheese. Season up our sausage. We gotta brown that first before we put that on the pizza. Italian seasoning and a little tiny checkers. Okay, we're just starting to get the Now we're gonna go ahead and top our little pizza. So I've got pepperoni. We're gonna go ahead and come in with our veggies. Onion, black olive, all that good stuff. Throw that into our preheated oven. It's not the cutest, you know, but it's gonna taste good. That's what she said. And in to the oven. There you go. Now we're gonna go ahead and fry up this okra. So I've got cornmeal in a bowl. We're gonna season that with some seasoning salt of your choice. I'm using Tony Chachere's, black pepper, cayenne, garlic powder, and a little sea salt. You're gonna add your okra that has been soaking in the buttermilk to the seasoned cornmeal mixture. A little few at a time. When it sizzles, when you drop a little flour in there. Drop one in. Boom, bow. I got that. My little oh, a little pizza that could. Okay, I've got my chopped, washed romaine lettuce, and to that, I'm gonna add chopped bacon, croutons, Caesar croutons, because that's how we're feeling today. Shredded Parmesan cheese, a lot because we like to have a good time. Healthy amounts of Caesar salad. I think that should be enough. I'll know once I toss it. That's what she said. And I'm gonna go ahead and toss our little bacon Caesar salad. Cracked black pepper. The Caesar salad. Game changer. That's our bacon Caesar. Gonna pour some heavy whipping cream in a bowl. Sloppily. And about a half cup of sugar. Maybe about a cup. We'll see, you know, like this much. And a half tablespoon, just a splash of vanilla extract. And then we're gonna whip. So soft peaks start to form. Shortcake shells, and look, when you add the sugar to the strawberries, makes a little syrup. It's called macerating them, if you didn't know. If you don't know, now you know. And we're just gonna spoon that into, last but not least, we're gonna add a dollop of our freshly whipped cream to these little bad boys. Oh, okay. And just for a little effect, I'm gonna fan a fresh strawberry on top of each one. So what I do, I'm sure there's like a more professional way to do this, but, or like on a cutting board, but I just cut them like this. It's right on my hand. I'm just gonna spread it apart, like so. Okay. Hey, So first of all, I want to show off the cup that my esteemed guest brought me. It says wine while black and tea. We're like in a group together where we're women just randomly bring each other gift bags. Honestly, there was chocolate in it and wine and this cup. So my guest tonight is Leora. She is A1. We were co-workers. We actually work together and are now friends outside of work.
Absolutely.
Because I just keep amazing people around me. It happens. So what we do, we are both LPNs by trade. I'm also a crime aficionado, very lazily because I'm not like an expert yet by night. But the crime that I want to tell you about, she is also an LPN.
No, I'm done.
Yeah.
That was a setup.
So this case is, I guess, a little bit personal for us. So we're going to be talking tonight about Christina Marie Riggs. She was an LPN, and I'm going to tell you a little bit what she did to earn her last meal.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to do a little background first. Christina Marie Riggs, she was born September 2nd, 1971 in Oklahoma, in Lawton, Oklahoma. So Christina, when she was born, apparently did not have the greatest childhood by all accounts. And I thank you to the Medium article that I read about her for all this information, because there was not a lot of background information in what I was initially looking at. So she had a history of sexual abuse, and she got pregnant when she was 16 to a child that she ended up giving up for adoption. Early years, she abused different substances as people that experience abuse often do. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so fast forward, not fast forward. She, according to this Medium article, felt that her sexuality was most of what she had to offer. So, yeah. In adulthood, she went on to become an LPN. She went to school, became a licensed practical nurse in her adult years. Christina met Timothy Thompson, and he was stationed at an Air Force base, a Tinker Air Force Base, and they met, had their dalliance, and she became pregnant, and he, I guess, decided that he was not the father, and just kind of pieced out on her. So then she met, while pregnant, this man named John Riggs, who was another sailor, and he took responsibility of the baby. That was not his baby, but they were going to build a relationship together. And they moved in together. The relationship was kind of rocky, by all accounts, but she gave birth to her son, Justin, while she was with this Riggs character. So she got pregnant again very soon after, because 1993 is not when she was pregnant with a daughter. That's when she got pregnant and had a miscarriage. 1994, she got pregnant with a daughter. She has 2 kids. Okay. So, 1993, which is pretty soon after she was pregnant with her son, she gets pregnant again, and it does not end well. It ends in a miscarriage, which kind of leads to her feeling depression. And then she ends up going to the doctor, getting help, which is what you want. So she ends up with Prozac. but she decides to stop taking it when she feels better, which is, as we know, yeah. But so the following year, 1994, she gets pregnant again. This time, she like has. She was pregnant again later that year. No. She gets pregnant in the beginning of the next year, 1994, and she ends up giving birth to her daughter, Shelby, in December 1994. So now she has 2 kids, but she has the whole time been expressing suicidal thoughts and depressive behavior. The Riggs family, which is her, and she moved to, they moved to Arkansas, Sherwood, Arkansas in 1995. Christina, she was living closer to her mother now, which was good for her. But just a lot of things were not going right in her life. She was able to find work in a local hospital, but both of her children were having health issues. So Shelby, her youngest daughter, kept experiencing ear infections, which is, as you have kids, you have 2 kids. And I know that that's like a thing that happened. And it was just very frustrating for her. And also her son, Justin, the oldest, he had ADHD, which kind of made just everything. And also, this is like the early 90s. So I feel like that would have just been a whole situation in and of itself.
Yeah, that whole HDAD thing was like, huh?
I remember vaguely, I was like 5.
I was 10.
Okay. After Christina's husband apparently punched her son in the face, she decided to file for divorce.
Oh, now
which is good. But I feel like she was just in a tough situation. She also was having financial problems. She got arrested for writing bad checks, and just, there was a whole lot going on in her life. That doesn't excuse her actions. So let's talk about her actions. So I've told you about how she was depressed and suicidal, and she had her children. So what Christina Marie Riggs decided that she was going to do. So she's an LPN. She worked at the hospital. She was able to divert undiluted potassium chloride and like a whole ton of amitriptyline. Just like a bunch. Amitriptyline is an antidepressant, and it is often used to combat insomnia and other mental illnesses, and also fibromyalgia, migraines, lots of different things. So she grabbed a whole bunch of this from work. Potassium chloride. So potassium chloride is like actually used for hypokalemia, which is low potassium, right? Like you give, but so what potassium does in the body, it like regulates your heart. So if you have too much of it, it can cause heart arrhythmias, and basically you can stop your heart with potassium chloride. Yeah, so that's what she took from the hospital that she worked at: potassium chloride and amitriptyline. So on November 4th, 1997, she goes to her house, and first she gives her children water with the amitriptyline in it, like diluted in it, so they'll fall asleep. And she injects undiluted potassium chloride into her son Justin, and it's not diluted. It's like not diluted, so it just causes him pain and burns his veins, and she can see it happening. He's not dying. So then she just smothers him.
Wait, how old was he?
1997. He was born in 1993. That's
4?
5.
5?
Yes.
Okay.
He was 5. Yeah, he was 5, and he smothers. She smothered her 5-year-old son to death, and then with her daughter, who was at this point 2, she did not even bother with potassium chloride this time because she didn't want them to go through pain.
So
but
she messed up. Okay.
So she, without the potassium chloride, smothers the 2-year-old. And then she herself takes the rest of the amitriptyline. So it's like 28 amitriptyline. And yeah. So when she did not report to work at the hospital where she worked, they called her mother, and then her mother went over to check and found Christina unconscious, but the children were dead. They were able to revive Christina, and it was supposed to be a murder-suicide, and her reasoning, she said, was she wanted to commit suicide, but she was worried about where her children would end up. She didn't want them to be split up because they had 2 different fathers.
So her plan was to kill him.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess.
So where was it gonna go? Okay.
I don't know. I honestly feel like it would be better to be split up than to die. But you know what? I guess we really cannot fathom how a depressed brain works. Because to me, yeah, in perfect sense. Okay, they get split up, they're alive. But I think she's thinking that she's doing the best that she can for her children and her, what do you think? You have kids.
What I know of depression is if I'm feeling like the world is not worth nothing. I can't get nothing good from the world. Why would I leave my children there without me as the person to protect them? If I'm going to kill myself, I'm going to kill them too.
No.
Because we all going to go to heaven. We all going to see Jesus. Why would I leave them on the earth to suffer?
I think when I was reading this case,
That's probably it.
That's probably it.
That's probably what she was trying to do.
Yeah,
But she wasn't a good nurse. She ain't give him enough.
No. She didn't.
I don't mean to make you laugh.
She didn't know her doses calculation.
No, her doses. Yeah, she failed that class.
She failed doses. She failed doses. Oh. I didn't. I got a 98.
Yeah. Well, whatever. I did. I had to take it 2 times. But
I got a 98 on the first.
I don't see myself as a mom. 2 kids. If I feel like the world is not worthy of me, let's just say it's all altruistic, and I'm like, the world doesn't deserve me. I know my kids are 10 times better than me, so the world don't deserve them either. And if I'm gonna leave, once again, as a mom, I'm not gonna leave them at the hands of the world. You don't know what's gonna happen to your children when you're gone. But if they're dead, in your mind, you're gonna think, oh, we all going to heaven. We all gonna see whomever we believe in, and we're gonna be good. We'll come back later.
That's honestly why this case saddens me, because maybe if she had just gotten the help that she needed, all of the senseless. Because honestly, she probably really thought she was doing the right thing. It wasn't I think ultimately depression kind of makes you a little inward thinking, and she was not thinking of, because they were 5 and 2. Who knows how the world would have treated them or what their futures would have been.
Right.
She never gave them a chance to experience that. So, like I said, she was found. They rushed her to the hospital after her suicide attempt. She was revived. But she was ultimately arrested and went to trial for the murder of her two children, Justin and Shelby. Justin and Shelby. At her June 1998 trial, she attempted to plead not guilty by reason of insanity, which I think to me, I see a case for, but I think you have to be able to, I don't know the law. I'm not a detective or a lawyer. I'm just a person that reads Wikipedia when I'm bored. But I feel like you have to know that what you're doing is wrong, or you have to not know what you're doing is wrong in order for it to be reason of insanity. So I think I guess she did know that she could. No, you know what? I don't even know if she made any attempt to cover it up. She was just done. I don't know.
I'm just listening, and I don't think the result that she got was what she was planning on.
No,
I think she thought that she would die. Yeah, the kids would die, and it would be done.
And that was the best possible outcome.
There's no result. There's no reason to think about why it happened. It's just done.
It is what it is.
But when she didn't die, she had to come up with something.
Yeah. So, she did not. They convicted her as guilty, not by reason of insanity. And then she wouldn't let any attorneys on her case because she ultimately wanted the death sentence.
That says a lot.
Yeah. She was placed in the Arkansas Department of Corrections and held at the McPherson unit, and which included female death row, and then hold on. Okay, so she remained on death row in Arkansas, and then on Sunday, April 30th, 2000, Riggs was flown from McPherson to Clemens in preparation for her execution. She was executed at 9:28 Central Daylight Time on May 2nd, 2000. She had last words. Her last words, and I want to get them right. No words can express just how sorry I am for taking the lives of my babies. No way I can make up for or take away the pain I have caused everyone who knew and loved them. Her very last words were, "I love you, my babies." And then ironically, she was executed by lethal injection, and they used potassium chloride.
Sorry, but that's...
Ironically, the way that she attempted to murder her children was the way the state decided to end her days. I don't even know how to feel about that.
If you don't know what you're doing, don't do it.
Twice.
I'm mad that I ate what she ate because, it was good. I'm so mad at her. She should have had poor choices in her food as well.
So, before her execution, she was granted a last meal. And her last meal was supreme pizza, salad, strawberry shortcake, fried okra, and cherry limeade. Cheers. And that's what I made for you.
I'm mad. She should have had gruel and old fingernails.
Not gruel.
Yes. Gruel and old fingernails.
Aww. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like this is a heinous crime, but I feel for her. Okay, so I have some interesting facts about this case. Okay. So that's why I wanted to pick this one, because we don't have a lot of females on death row.
Right. Because we don't do that.
We don't do that.
We don't have a reason to be on death row.
We just be minding our business a lot.
Taking care of our kids.
Okay, so She was the first female murderer executed in Arkansas since 1976.
And you know they fought it. Uncle So ain't trying to kill no women.
No,
Go ahead.
they really were. They weren't trying to.
No. She was bad. That's my point. Because they're not trying to kill many women.
Yeah. She was 31st murderer executed in the U.S. in 2000.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 629th murderer executed since 1976. Which is like, I guess, that's not a whole lot.
No. What'd you say? 6 what?
629 from 1976 to 2000. That's...
I can't do math, but it's not a lot each year.
Yeah.
I got a calculator.
So before we wrap up here, I always ask everybody that comes through and shares a last meal with me.
Last meal? Mm-hmm. I'm never gonna see you again?
Mm-hmm. No.
Well, bye.
Before we...
That's what she said.
No, you can come back and eat.
You do not find me funny right now. Okay.
I find you hilarious. Anyways, so I shared a last meal with you. If you had to choose, like, let's say you did something heinous. Like, let's say I annoyed you to death, and then you stole from work and you drugged me, and they put you on death row. What would your last meal be?
I would have lamb.
Ooh.
Some lamb. Ooh. Some jollof rice. Don't choke.
Hey!
That is so good.
Nicer girl in the making.
My favorite dessert, it would probably be ice cream sandwich made with chocolate chip ice cream.
Oh, okay.
That is my jam. I love cookies. I love ice cream.
That's a good one. I love that you would pick that, like, jollof rice, even though you didn't grow up with jollof rice.
No, good food is good food.
Good food is good food.
It doesn't matter. The more spicy, the better.
She hasn't had mom's jollof rice.
I have somebody making some jollof rice for me. Her name is Tofik.
No.
It's not spicy from what I tasted.
No, girl.
But your mother might make me cough.
No, because people that make jollof rice think my mom's jollof rice is the best jollof rice. Okay. So I took, Louis and Amelia, I took some of the class, they're like, your mom's rice tastes like bazaar jollof. Which is like when you go to the bazaar.
Right. And like, it's like the most. And my thing is
honestly,
that...
I didn't even understand the compliment because I grew up here. I know my mom now. He's like, wow. So what does that mean?
It's so good to me. I love it. Now, for my last meal, I'm going to get the jollof rice, the lamb. I love lamb. Maybe some biscuits, but...
Biscuits, okay.
It don't even go together, but it's my last meal, so I'm going to eat whatever.
Yeah.
I love spaghetti.
Okay.
Some good spaghetti.
Sauce mixed in or on top?
I like sauce mixed. I like my meat and my sauce mixed together.
That's the correct answer.
That's the correct way?
Okay. I don't know how to do it, but that's all.
On top of my noodles, I want garlic bread. And I want real deal cheese sauce. Like, I need the bechamel. I want it. If I'm going down, I'm going to eat it good.
So, that was the story of Christina Marie Riggs. Did you have a good time?
I did.
Yeah, okay.
I'm disappointed in her, but yeah, I'm here.
You know what? That's the exact word. Disappointment. I'm disappointed in her. But not... That's not the right word either. I just wish she had more options and better choices. But this is what happened. That was the real deal. Fed you her last meal. And that's that. Thank you for coming.
You're welcome. Anytime, I'll be here. Food is delicious. I love to eat. And you want that crust?
You can have it. I mean, you all over here anyways. Go ahead.
I'm all in here with my fork, right?
Okay. Thanks so much for watching. And there you have it. Last meal, real deal. Last meal, the real deal.